Hello everyone, and welcome to my first YouTube video. My name's Daphne and I'm originally from the United States, but I've been living in Barcelona for the past 8 years. And the focus of my YouTube channel is going to be walking the Camino de Santiago and all the different caminos you can walk and anything related to walking. It's just a passion of mine and I'd like to share that with the world. So today I want to talk about the different caminos I've walked and maybe give you an idea of which one might be right for you. So the most popular camino is the Camino Frances, and that one, it's famous, and it's probably the best camino to walk if you've never walked a camino before. It's got lots of infrastructure. You don't ever have to walk too far in between towns, so there's always a bar or an albergue or a bathroom, and there's lots of people, so you don't have to worry about being alone. If you walk alone like I do, you don't have to worry about being alone all the time because there's lots of people and it's so easy to make friends. So yeah, that was my first Camino, which I walked in 2016, and it was a life-changing experience, and I haven't stopped walking since. So that's the Camino Frances. The second most popular Camino is the Camino del Norte. That one also has a lot of walkers, and it has good infrastructure. Not quite as good as the Camino Frances, but because it's geared more towards tourists that aren't walking, there's a lot of more expensive accommodation, so they don't depend on pilgrims to keep the economy going. So there aren't there's plenty of albergues, but not as many as on the Frances, and they tend to be more expensive. And the food on the Camino del Norte is amazing, and it's definitely a more challenging Camino than the Frances because there's a lot of up and down, and it also takes a little bit longer. But it hugs the coast of the north of Spain, and it's beaches and forest and mountains, and it's just gorgeous. So I'm not sure which one is the third most popular. I think it's the Camino Portugues, and I've also walked that one. I walked that one from Porto to Santiago, and it took me about 11 days. I don't know how many kilometers it is, but that one typically takes from 11 days to 14 days. And on that Camino is pretty well traveled, and it has really good accommodation. It's a nice Camino, and I really like the food on the Camino Portugues. Great seafood and great pastries. The fourth most popular Camino is probably the Via de la Plata, and that's my personal favorite. That one goes from Sevilla to Santiago, and it's about 1,000 kilometers, and it takes anywhere from 40 to 50 days. And that one is great because there isn't a lot of up and down. There's really there's hardly any mountains until you get into the northern part near Santiago. But the thing with that Camino is that there are a lot of really long distances. So I remember walking 41 kilometers in one day, and you have to plan ahead for that one because there's a lot of distance between the towns, so you have to pack food in your backpack. You also have to probably use the restroom outside because there's nowhere to go. But I really love the Via de la Plata because, well, I've only ever walked it in the spring, but the reason I love it is because of all the wildflowers in the spring, and also because of the Roman ruins. And it's just, I don't know, I just like the feeling on that one because you're walking through all these little towns that no one would ever visit if it weren't for that Camino, and not that many people walk it, but it is getting more popular, and it tends to attract an older crowd, like more retired people. Okay, on to the next Camino that I've walked is the Camino Mozarabe. That one goes from Almeria in the southeast of Spain, and it goes all the way to Merida in Extremadura, where it meets up with the Via de la Plata. I haven't walked the entirety of that one. I've walked two separate sections one from Almeria to Granada, and then later I walked from Granada to Cordoba, and my plan is to walk the final stretch of that next month after Easter, from Cordoba to Merida. And so then I will be able to say I've walked all of the Mozarabe, so I can give you a full rundown on it. But I can tell you that the section from Almeria to Granada is amazing because of the Sierra Nevada mountains. But if you're somebody who needs to have people around you, that's not a good Camino. I walked it back in autumn of 2023, and we only met one other pilgrim. So that one is not really for the faint of heart. So basically, that's just a small rundown of some different Caminos you can walk. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions or ideas for videos I can do relating to the Camino de Santiago. I plan to keep uploading more topics about the Camino, and I plan to take you along with me when I complete the Camino Mozarabe in about 3 weeks. Okay, that's all for now. Talk to you later. Bye.